good at that.
Practice.
I ran into Zarkon at the fairgrounds. Future Echo took the rest of the Poindextrous Syntixi from him before I arrived.
My guards have detected a large mass of Syntixi at the top of this structure.
That must be the bomb. I'll take the stairs. Meet you at the top?
My thoughts exactly. Good luck, Echo.
This is it. We're gonna stop this thing.
And hello there. Anarchists and ass grinders. And welcome back to Convergence. I just can't get, like, spread eagle and then I can't get over that. That's great. We are in the end game now, it seems. We're doing the final climb to Dracula that you'll do at the end of, like, your Castlevania, Metroidvanias. And Future Echo is waiting for someone at the top. Now, if this isn't a new episode and you're just still watching the old episode... Whoa.
That's what Camille said. And what I become. Maybe it was the war that made him that way. But maybe it was the Zero Drive too. I invent things because I can and I'm curious, but I never really thought about how they would change me. I don't have to be like him. And I won't.
I made the decision that I wanted each episode to cover one chapter of the story, but I guess in the last episode, since I decided not to go for all of the challenge runs and stuff like that, it turned out a little shorter than I had anticipated. Also, this final chapter, Chapter 8, I assume is the final chapter, snuck up on me a little bit. But hey, either you get like one long episode covering 2 chapters, or you get 2 episodes covering 2 chapters. Either way, you get episodes.
Stop this bomb. You can't do this to Zon.
And there is a fair point in, like, the central conflict between Future and Past Echo. This thing of, like, the technology you use will change you. Like, it's sort of a variation on the idea of if every tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? Like, if you have a tool that allows you to perfectly control all variables and thus deeply manipulate all outcomes, it's like, that's going to change how you see the world around you. It's going to change how you see the people around you. Like, if you get into a situation with someone who's, like, roasting you or whatever, and you think up the perfect line, like, 10 seconds too late, you can go back and change it, you know? Like, and that'll be one of those little things of, like, haha, you'll think of the perfect line a little bit later, you'll go back, you'll roast them with that, and you'll actually blast them down, and everybody, eh! Like, and you feel really good, and it's fine, because, like, you just throw a roast back at a bully or whatever, and that's fine. But then it's like, ooh, shit, this girl I like, and I said something dumb, and I looked a little stupid in front of her. That feels vulnerable. I don't like that. I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna play cool instead, right? I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna choose exactly what she wants to hear, so that the social interaction I have with her always turns out good, so that I'm, like, the perfect guy for her. And it's good because I'm trying to make her happy, right? It's cool. It's totally fine. But then there's no vulnerability, right? Like, that you sort of optimize yourself out of the little human moments of vulnerability and sincerity that come with, you know, the reality of time, which is that we can't go back. That you only get one chance.
He doesn't understand what he's doing.
Oh, Echo, it's worse than that. He does. He just has decided not to care anymore.
He's set up a barricade.
It won't hurt you, but it'll be like trying to move through some sludge.
Can you break through it with your temporal gadgets?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll stand watch until he deactivates the barrier.
Yeah, like that. Anything worth picking up at this point? I mean, I guess I'll do that. Might as well, but I have 1 gadget slot. Hang on. Does that work the way I think it will? No, Echo, I don't want you to... I want to test out this thing. Okay, so you can smack it and get a little extra bit of damage. Yeah, that'll probably add a little extra damage every once in a while. Hey, buddy.
Echo, what are you doing here?
I'm here to help you. There has to be another way to stop the war from happening.
Don't you think I've tried? This is it, Echo.
Then you haven't tried hard enough. There's always a way.
There's a war, Echo. A war more painful and destructive than you can possibly imagine. And Zahn isn't the good guy. The only way to stop it all is to let the Syntixi crystals be destroyed in the past. And it's gonna work this time. Please.
This bomb is gonna destroy half of Piltover and half of Zahn. You're not destroying my city tonight.
Ooh, now it's serious. Okay, why?
I'm the only one. Why can't you ever listen to me?
Oh, he has been listening. He just doesn't like what you're saying. And you can't make him agree.
I'm not trying to hurt.
Ow. Right, so he has a thing that he does when you're above him as like a reaction. That's fair.
You can't stop me.
Turns out, yes, I can. Eventually. It'll take a sec. Ow!
I'm the only one.
Damn it. Okay. Oh, it's not an attack. Oh, yes, it is.
How could you? This is so much bigger than you know. Why can't you ever listen to me?
Oh, that's cute. No, you don't. Ooh, yeah, that's a long range that has. Stop flying. What hit me? Oh, hey! You can smack him while he's in the air.
Why can't you ever listen to me? I have to do this.
Oh, right. Those were still there.
I'm not trying to hurt you.
Yes, you are. Like, very explicitly, you are. And I don't mean just in terms of combat, but also in terms of what you're doing to the city that you know he loves.
You can't do this. You don't understand.
So what's that rift gonna do? Oh, okay.
Why can't you ever listen to me?
Huh? Okay. Okay, so I think what that does is that all of his after images will, like, instantly do an attack on you. Come on, I know I can parry that. Echo. No! There we go.
I'm not trying to hurt you.
Can't parry that, though. No, you don't. Nice try, buddy.
Why can't you ever listen to me?
Okay, so that's also just a thing that attacks you. And does damage whether you like it or not. Ugh.
The war is not your fault. It's not up to you to fix the world all by yourself.
I know. I know. You're right.
He's lying.
Despite what I may have said earlier, you're a good person. And I know that everything you do is because you love this city. And me.
There might be another way. Look. We've been tearing at time.
I don't understand.
We've ripped the fabric of this timeline. And maybe that's the key. Will you start rewinding your zero drive?
Do I have any other option? Okay.
Our drives are pulling in opposite directions. And we can open the fissure wider. Enough for the Syntixi. And then it'll be out of this timeline for good.
That thing is gonna be a vacuum. It'll suck the entire clock tower in with it.
I know. I'm gonna seal it as soon as the Syntixi is inside. On the count of 3, turn off your zero drive. Okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Let go, or you'll get sucked in too.
It won't close from here. It has to be sealed from the inside.
What are you saying?
I hope one day you can be proud of me.
What are you doing? No!
Echo, are you all right?
He's gone.
Where?
I don't know. He took the bomb out of time.
How do you mean?
Our zero drives made a time fissure, and he sealed himself inside with the Syntixi. I don't know where he went.
So he's gone. That means you're free. You aren't doomed to follow his fate.
Yeah, I guess.
The future of Syntixi is no longer possible. My agents have captured what remains of the Poindexters and their crystal production. Our cities are safe now. There's no Syntixi, no bomb. We're all safe.
But what's gonna happen to me?
I just cannot accept this characterization of Camille as this kindly lady. Like, Echo, are you all right? She doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit if Echo's all right. That's not... She has a robot heart that makes her literally... Like, she doesn't have emotions. That's the whole... That's her character. So I have to, in the spirit of generosity, just assume that she's fucking lying. And that she's manipulating Echo by lying to him. Right? Please tell me that this is so. Also, this might be a fake out ending. That would be cool. Can I... Okay, I'm pressing the rewind button, but it unfortunately doesn't do anything. So this was a very good action platformer. Like this... Playing this game feels good. The controls feel good. The combat is fun. The abilities are really fun to use. The platforming is really great. As a story, though, I mean... I will accept the idea that you can have different interpretations of these characters. Like, okay, sure, that's fine. Like, different interpretations. It's just... It's weird that Warwick murders, like, just so casually goes after Echo to murder him. Even though, like, part of Warwick's characterization is that he's driven to rage by the scent of blood, right? This is a little weird that he shows up, he absolutely fucking murks Sarkon, like, clearly kills him, like, just absolutely murders him off screen, and then turns around like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this child too, because then you sort of have to go, okay, either Echo genuinely does have blood on his hands, either he has been killing all of the people I've been beating up over the course of the game, which doesn't make any sense because Echo has a pretty strong objection to just killing people, or else, like, it feels like a misunderstanding of Warwick's character, like what makes him scary. It's not that, like, I hunted you and therefore I must kill you. Like, that's a Rengar thing. Like, that's much more Rengar, who's like, if he hunts someone, he has to fucking kill them, because that's a matter of honor and pride for him. For Warwick, it's more like when the scent of blood is there, he can't control himself, right? Like, for him, he's like a monster out of control. It's not a thing of, like, he wants to do it, it's a thing of he just gets so infuriated by the scent of blood that it drives him insane. And Camille is like, again, I don't mind, like, if Echo and Camille have an alliance or whatever. Like, that makes sense that they, like, future Echo's blowing up the cities. Camille has a definite interest in preventing that. That's okay. But this whole thing of, like, oh, it's nice you've made a friend who's different from you. It's so good to see you sort of reach out to people who are different from, and then, like, Camille responding in kind by being this sort of kindly, almost motherly figure to him it is so alien to my understanding of what that character is, like what she's like, that I kind of have to sit here and sort of rationalize and go, okay, she must have been lying. Like, she must have been manipulating him. She must have sort of zeroed in on the idea that Echo responds to this kind of performance of sincerity. So let's just do that to get him to do what we want. And then that'll be beneficial. Like, I have to assume that, because otherwise her behavior just doesn't make sense to me with the conception of the character as we have it. And then there's the weird vibe in the game sometimes where it sort of tries to go, hey, Saw and Piltover, two halves of a whole, they complement each other, they're good for each other in a way, sort of, kind of, which again is like, not 100% sure I vibe with that interpretation, to be quite honest. Oh shit! Star Guardians. Arcane. Project. A better future for Zon. There we go. Happy ending for him too. That's nice.
Echo, can you hear me? I'm out of time. Out of tricks. I'm sorry for everything. With Mom and Dad and the Syntixi and me. It's just me. All on my own now. But at least you're safe. But listen, you have everything ahead of you. You don't have to become me. You can give your heart to the world and make it a better place. And if you can, forgive me.
I wanted to show you something and tell you about someone I met. Do you have some time to spare?
Congratulations on completing the story. You can now explore all of Zon with all of Echo's abilities to seek chests and collectibles you may have missed on your journey. You can view your completion percentage for each area on the map screen. Okay, cool. So, broadly speaking, like, I like this game. I have enjoyed playing it a lot. I think the central conceit... Oh, we should go get that last piece of lore, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should. Okay, how do we get there? From there, probably. Which means to left. I have enjoyed playing it. I think it is a good game.
Hi there, Echo.
I just have some real quibbles with
Do have a way of impressing people.
the way that the characters
I
are presented.
admire you, Echo.
A bright mind grew out of a dark city. Who knows what the hungry and brilliant will do next? Is Urgot a Chem Baron on the rise or an escaped criminal seeking revenge? Sometimes these things aren't mutually exclusive. Yeah, no kidding.
Integrity is hard to come by these days.
Okay. Are there conversations to be had with... Okay, let's go and get that piece of lore. And that means going through here. There you go. I've enjoyed playing it. I just have some real quibbles with the way that the characters are presented relative to the way that they are, that at least I have understood them for quite a while. and relative to the way that I find them compelling. Like, again, I like Camille a lot as a villain. I think she's a great villain. I think she's so much fun as a villain, as like a tragic villain in many ways, like someone whose humanity has kind of been literally destroyed by her class position, essentially. Like, she became what she became because it was required of her. Her family required it of her, essentially, which is tragic. It's a sad fate that she has, and you can feel some sympathy for her, even as you sort of go, oh yeah, also evil. Sorry, boys, don't have time to play. I'll take whatever's in here too. But, like, sort of presenting her in this way as someone who's, like, well-intentioned or compassionate, who's, like, considerate of other people, that to me is, like, that's sort of, like, because part of the tragedy of Camille is that she became the way she became, like, essentially because she was powerless against her own class conditions, right? Like, that her position in the house that she was born into sort of demanded that she become this way, and this is all she's ever known, right? And so when she loses her entire humanity, like when she loses her ability to have human connections and human feelings, like, this is one of the big parts of her story, is that she actually had someone she was in love with. Like, she had like genuine softness and kindness and affection and like compassion in her heart, but it was forced away from her by the machinations of her family. She was forced to surrender that to serve the interests of her house and the interests of Piltovan nobility. Like, that's a tragedy, and when you then take that away from her, like that heartlessness, that cruelty, you sort of dampen her tragedy. Like, you sort of make it much less, like, a much less of a compelling tragedy, what's happened to her, because it's like, oh yeah, no, she has a hextech heart and her humanity was taken away, but clearly she's still, like, a human being capable of empathy? What? Like, you can see how that kind of breaks the concept. Icarus and Sunflyer, okay. You there, pause and contemplate the incredible skin-preserving miracle of Icarus and Sun's patented extraordinary sun-shielding liniment. Entresol of Zon is full of wonders, but a Zonite knows what is less wondrous. The murderous rays of the sun! Make no mistake, that fiery orb above will cook a careless Zonite like a slab of yip snake. Therefore, I present for a minuscule outlay of your hard-earned income a truly unprecedented, undocumented, unreplicated prophylactic against the furious wrath of the stars themselves. Simple, nearly painless applications of liniment provide an impenetrable, impregnable, inviolable barrier against any and all sun-related afflictions, irritations, and aggravations. Our formula is so effective it may provoke the sun itself into a fit of rage so cataclysmic that it will bring about the end of all things. You'll be there to enjoy our last days cool and refreshed by Icarus and Sun's patented extraordinary sun-shielding liniment. I like that. Called Icarus, too. Oh. Okay, so there's like one letter somewhere. Presumably in one of the sub-areas. Maybe it's the fairgrounds, maybe it's Factory Wood, maybe it's the chain crawler or the cultivator. Not sure. Since it's right there. Maybe that's one of the champions? Nope. It's a Chroma. What do we have here? Oh, this looks like challenge runs. Oh, this looks like platforming challenge galore. I can't resist a little bit, just a little. Oh my god, Echo. Okay, so dash, Echo. Dash, then, okay, and then, whoop. Oh, okay, I see. I'm supposed to go over. Oh, okay. I see. Oh no, I'm supposed to double jump through there. Echo. Okay, let's just... Yeah, I can't double jump through that. I have to double jump through here. And then... There we go. Okay. Whew. Right in the nick of time. Hey, they're singed. Isn't that nice? And that gets us 99% of the Entresol. Wait, where's the last 1%? Hang on. Wait a minute. What do you mean 99%? I'm looking around and I'm seeing 100. Oh, there's a secret room somewhere. Ooh, the game is teasing me. The game is teasing me, but. I think we'll let things lie here, honestly. And go back and deliver the Clockwork Champion. I think that's all of them? Is that all of the Clockwork Champions? It might be, maybe not. We'll go back, deliver the last Clockwork Champion, see what it looks like, and then we'll call this playthrough to a close. So yeah, I have some quibbles, some severe quibbles with the story of this game. I think the narrative and emotional core of it is good. I think the core of like exploring like what kind of person Echo might become if he... Is there anything back at the apartment, I wonder? Like if he uses his technology forever without consideration, like without being properly conscious of what the solutions you choose to your problems change about who you are as a person. That's really compelling. I think that's a really solid thing to explore. And so the relationship between future and past Echo, like, that makes sense. That, like, future Echo would be both, like, frustrated and very stubborn and determined, like, not to, like, let himself talk himself out of anything, but also feel a lot of guilt about not being able to live up to his own past ideals and, like, to his own past optimism, which, like, every time he looks at Echo, obviously he's going to remember that. Like, I think that's emotionally very compelling. But... But yeah, like, the way some of the characters are presented, the way that they are used as characters, like Jinx, the Jinx segment, for example, it's still so, like, it's one of those things, like, you could replace the segment where you fight, like, where you fight Jinx with You could take it out completely, and nothing about the story would substantially change, because the entire thing about Red and her shitty boyfriend, and like the Inxes and their weird sort of obsession with Jinx and their concert, that doesn't interact meaningfully at all with.
Hi there, Echo.
There's two more. There's two more left. With the rest of the narrative, it just doesn't. Like it doesn't tie into the themes in any particularly strong way. It doesn't inform anything about Echo and his relationship. Like, the only thing they sort of tried to do is like, hey, I kind of couldn't see that this Chad guy, he was actually kind of a bad dude, and he was trying to do bad things because I was blinded by naivete. That's sort of kind of there in the relationship with Future Echo, except Echo isn't being naive about Future Echo. Future Echo is good at heart. Like, Future Echo is a decent person who's trying to do the right thing in the very wrong way, and he can be reached and talked to, and like doesn't need to be like written off as an enemy. So it's like, yeah, but that doesn't really apply to Echo's situation, because like he's right to still have faith in Future Echo. So it's like this is one of those things that it feels. If I were to take a really sort of big guess at it, it feels like the whole segment with the concert with Jinx up in the sky and the Inxes and her battle and her sprite animations, that feels like something that maybe was created really early in the process and sort of finished as like a vertical slice of what the game could be. And then that got sort of like, as the game was developed, maybe it changed in scope, maybe the story changed, maybe like the structure of the narrative changed, maybe some things like sort of were altered around it that made the Jinx section no longer really fit, but they weren't really willing, like they'd done all this work and it was a really fun section, so they weren't willing to throw it out. Like, it feels like, and I can't say that for sure, obviously, like I don't have any insider knowledge, but that's what it feels like. It feels like a section that at one point in production, maybe at an earlier point, or maybe it was like a last minute addition, like maybe it was a last minute thing that Riot was like, no, actually, in order to sell this game, we have customer data that says that if it takes place in Zaun, and because of Arcane, Jinx is such a popular character, we have to have this. And so maybe that was rushed at the last minute to sort of cram that in to make it a part of it, so that they can have Jinx in the marketing, and like, because she was a big part of like the trailers. Like, Jinx was a huge part of the trailers, lots of like her firing rockets and Echo and shit. Compared to how tiny and insignificant a part she plays in the game, maybe that was the thing. Like, maybe it was just a marketing thing of like, if we want to sell this game to people, Echo isn't a popular enough character. Like, Warwick isn't a popular enough character. Camille isn't a popular enough character. We need Jinx for marketing purposes. That's also entirely possible, that like the mandate came down that the data from the consumer says that the character they most want to see in Echo Convergence is Jinx, so find a way to shove her in there. That could also have happened, because like, it feels so out of step with everything else that happened, and it fails the sexy lamp test, right? Like, it's like, it fails the test of, if you just were to replace this with literally anything else, would things change? Like, if you replaced it with a boss fight with Jace up in Piltover, where it's like, all of a sudden, oh, Jace is sending the cops, and now you have to go talk to him, and Jace is like, I will not listen to you, let's have a fight, and then you fight him, and then he's like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong, and then you go back and nothing else. Like, that wouldn't change anything about the story. If you had a fight with Victor, because he unleashed evil robots on Zaun, and you had to go and stop him before you had to go and stop Future Echo, that also wouldn't change anything. Like, it wouldn't be any more or less out of step with the rest of the game. It would just be this weird cul-de-sac that doesn't go anywhere, that's included seemingly just for the purpose of including that champion as like a playable boss fight in the game. And I wouldn't mind that as DLC. Like having the thing with Red, like as like a little sub adventure as DLC released later on down the line, where it's like, oh, hey Red, what's up? Oh, I'm going to a concert with a thing, and then you do the subplot with the Inxes and you go fight Jinx, and it's like a little mini campaign for like a $10 DLC or whatever. That would be cool. Same thing with Victor, and same thing with Jason, same thing. Like, hell, maybe you have an adventure with Blitzcrank. I don't know if you need to fight him. That would all work for me. Like, that would be cool. But the inclusion of it as an attempted part of the main campaign, and it comes at such a weird point where it's like, oh shit, Future Echo's building a huge bomb, he's gonna kill everyone. Oh, concert? Yeah, sure, I'll go to a concert. Why not? Like, yeah, I've got nothing else going on. I'll go to a concert, fly up into the sky, and beat up a bunch of teenagers. Sure. Like, it's such an awkward fit. And it could just be sunk cost fallacy. It could be a thing they thought was more important, and they sunk a whole bunch of work into it, and they kind of had to throw it into the product because it's like, yeah, but like we put all this work into it, and playtesters really like it, and so we can't really justify throwing it out. I don't know. It's just like that is the thing about the game. Like, I've talked shit about the characterization. I have rambled about what I liked and disliked about other parts of the game, but the Jinx section to me felt a little bit like that was the one where I kind of got upset, because that really felt to me like the game wasn't taking its own story seriously. Like that's the danger, right? Like, you're telling me that there's a ticking clock, that there's a huge peril, that we like have to rush to stop this guy from doing the thing, and it has to happen right the fuck now. But then also you're telling me like, fuck it, don't worry about it. Go listen to her concert, fight Jinx for a while. Why not? Like it feels like being jerked around a little bit. Like, the game on the one hand is telling me to feel tense, to feel that the stakes are high, and like time is of the essence, and we fucking need to go. We need to go. Like, with that tension is high, and then on the other hand is like, come on, shoot faster. Like on the other hand, it's having a big song and dance party. It's a big tonal inconsistency, and it feels a little like the game thinks it can just jangle shiny keys in front of my face, and I'll sort of go, ooh, shiny, cool, we're fighting Jinx. Hey, I don't care about the story. Like, it feels a little insulting to my engagement in that way. Not that I think they meant to do that. It's just when a story is giving you such incoherent signals about how you're supposed to engage with the narrative that's happening, it's like it feels unserious, right? Like, it feels on the one hand like it's asking you to take it very, very seriously, and then it's also asking you just to go, fuck it, it's a video game, who cares? Whee! And it's like, and that's not a big deal. It's not something I'm angry about. It's just something that feels really... I was about to say amateurish, but that's not fair. It just feels ill-considered. It feels ill-considered is what I'll say. Anyway, I still recommend the game. Like, if you just want to play a fun platformer, a really fun Metroidvania with some cool abilities and some great combat, yeah, this game is definitely worth it for that. It's just because I am that kind of pedantic nerd that has all of these weird objections to a game that's probably meant to be perceived mostly as a fairly low-stakes Metroidvania platforming action game, and not necessarily as like a hugely important narrative expression. By the way, something I should compliment about the game. The character designs here are pretty damn fucking good. The visual style of this game is really fucking good. I love the screen tones. Like, and just standing around here, like, look at the variety of characters you get in the background. Yes, absolutely, they're reused sprites across the entire game, but there's a big variety of them. A big variety of character attitudes, a big variety of fashion, some variety in character body types. I think it's so fucking cool that we have the lady in the fucking chem-powered wheelchair. I think it's good that they bothered to remember that. Like, that one of the things that's cool about Chemtech and Hextech is the way that it interacts with different states of ability, right? And like what technology can be used in that way. That's one of the things that's cool and compelling about Hextech, is the thing of like, oh hey, you get really cool prosthetics that can sort of make up for like problems or limitations in your body. Like a little bit of that transhumanism shit. That's good. I like that they included that. I love the new design for Janna that they have here in the background. Like, this is... I still have my own thoughts about Janna. You can watch my videos about her. But this is a much better rendition of, like, Janna the Wind Goddess than League of Legends has ever shown us, including Wild Rift, by the way, in case anyone wants to bring that up. It's a really cool game. I like the use of the heavy shadows, the dark, the black and white. Like, the way that... like the way that this 2D animation is rendered, like, because this is what I like in terms of 2D animation. A lot of what happens in this game is what I like to think of as puppet animation, right? Like paper cutout animation, essentially, where the character is broken up into distinct individual pieces, especially the background characters. You can see this happening on that are sort of moved and rotated and like twisted and deformed individually from each other, and then layered on top of each other to create. And you can see that especially like with this guy's legs as he's like puttering about in the background, right? Like the way that the legs are sort of almost animated independently from the rest of his body. Like that's a style of animation that has a lot of potential to feel really stiff and kind of like wonky in a lot of ways. Like Salt and Sanctuary is another game that uses this style of animation, and I don't like the way it looks in Salt and Sanctuary. I think Salt and Sanctuary does look really kind of stiff and awkward, and doesn't really produce naturalistic and nice feeling animation. But like Echo, of course, being the main character, like just his attack animations are so fucking good. Like, the way he moves feels really good. The parry animation is fucking fantastic. Fucking fantastic. Most of the main characters, like Warwick especially, is a highlight for me. He moves so nice. Like, the way they communicate his weight in his animations, like, fucking hell, that's excellent. Like, Jinx felt a little rough and unfinished, as I've already said, but like, the very, like, manic, psychotic energy that she has, like, that energy of being constantly on the edge of, like, sort of flipping out and exploding, like she's a ticking time bomb. That's definitely there. Like Camille, like with the posture that she has, like the way she was animated in the fight, that fits her character really well. Like that very stiff, upright, very precise movement style that she has. Absolutely, that all fits. Like so many of the bosses were such cool fights that I really enjoyed. I sort of didn't comment on it at the time because I was just having such a good fucking time. But I do want to I felt like I was ending off on a bit of a negative note, so I did want to bring up that, like, hey, there's a lot of good shit to recommend here. It's just on the narrative side, I have some qualms, but on the visual side, like, this game is fucking gorgeous. Like, the backgrounds in this game are fucking gorgeous. The way that they're put together, like the way it uses like these solid blacks and like the way that the background is detailed. Like, look at these two gates in the background, right? These are the same gate, right? Like, completely the same design. But because, like, one of them is twisted a little bit off angle because they give them slightly different detailing, even though these two gates are copy-pasted art, they don't feel like copy-pasted art. They don't feel like they were just tiled there. Look at the, like, the wall panels in the background. They don't feel tiled either because they've made careful... Like, they've done careful effort to sort of give them, like, rough edges along the sides that sort of keeps them feeling kind of... Have I not been in here? Kind of, like, offset from each other and a little bit rough around the edges. I think I have been in here. I must have, because there's nothing in here. It's like, there's so much good to talk about in this game as well. The effects animations are brilliant also. Like, unreservedly. Like, especially, like, look at the time winder, like the little clock thing of that rotates around it before it hits its explosion. Like, that fucking rules. Come on. Damn it. Thought I got a full streak. So, yeah. Mixed feelings. But on the production side, like on the visuals, on the music, holy shit, the music. I haven't talked enough about the music. The music in this game is excellent. I need the fucking soundtrack. I have the soundtrack. And I'm going to listen to it. Because it uses leitmotifs and, like, recognizable melodies and musical patterns in a really cool way that doesn't get grating or repetitive, but which just, like, really adds a lot of flavor and identity to the music in a way that... I feel a lot of video games nowadays, like, a lot of soundtracks just aren't really made to prioritize that hummability, but this game has, like, da-da-da-da. So, yes, lots of good stuff. I'll shut the fuck up now. I think you've got the point of what I'm saying. So if you've enjoyed watching me play through Echo Convergence, a League of Legends Echo story with the Echo, future Echo, having adventures in Echo's hometown of Zaun in Echo, then you can echo Echoes by... That's the wrong screen I'm going to. By hitting the like, comment, and subscribe buttons down below. That's my Tears of the Kingdom streaming screen. You can hit the like, comment, and or subscribe buttons down below, and that'll let you know when new episodes are coming out. You can become a member of the channel to get early access to things that happen on this channel before everyone else. You can head on over to my Twitch and follow and or subscribe over there to get access to the video game recordings I do over there, which also end up on this channel, by the way, so the content is even between the two. And that's all the self-promotion I have. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to be kind to one another, have solidarity with those who are worse off than yourselves, and may the tides of history wash gently over us all.